In the pantheon of gods, few have paid a higher price for knowledge than Odin, the all-father of Norse mythology. His story isn't just ancient folklore. It's a profound meditation on what we're willing to sacrifice for understanding. To truly grasp the wisdom of Odin, we must journey to the heart of the Norse cosmos, where the world tree Yggdrasil connects 9 realms in an intricate web of existence. It was here that Odin made his most famous sacrifice, one that would forever change how we think about the pursuit of knowledge. The story goes that Odin hung himself from Yggdrasil's mighty branches, pierced by his own spear, Gungnir, for 9 days and 9 nights. No food touched his lips, no water quenched his thirst. He gazed down into the abyss below, seeking the secrets of the runes, the fundamental building blocks of magic and meaning in the Norse universe. On the 9th night, as Odin hung between life and death, the runes finally revealed themselves to him. In that moment of ultimate suffering, knowledge flooded through him like lightning. But this wasn't Odin's only sacrifice for wisdom. Long before his ordeal on Yggdrasil, he had already traded his eye at Mimir's well, the spring of wisdom that flows beneath the world tree's roots. Mimir, the severed head that guards the well, demanded the ultimate payment: Odin's eye, his window to the physical world, in exchange for a drink from the waters of cosmic knowledge. Without hesitation, Odin plucked out his eye and cast it into the depths. From that day forward, he would see the world differently, literally trading physical sight for metaphysical insight. But why would a god, already powerful beyond measure, sacrifice so much for knowledge? The answer lies in understanding what Odin knew that others didn't. Ragnarok was coming, the twilight of the gods. Unlike other mythological pantheons where gods were immortal and unchanging, the Norse gods knew their world had an expiration date. Odin's pursuit of wisdom wasn't born from curiosity alone. It was driven by the terrible knowledge of inevitable doom. Every sacrifice he made was preparation for the final battle. Every piece of wisdom gathered was another weapon against fate itself. This makes Odin's story uniquely human among divine narratives. He embodies our deepest fears about mortality and our highest aspirations for understanding. In trading his eye for wisdom, Odin demonstrated a profound truth. Sometimes we must give up one way of seeing to gain another. Modern psychology calls this cognitive flexibility, the ability to abandon old mental models when they no longer serve us. Odin's hanging on Yggdrasil reveals another essential aspect of wisdom. It often comes through suffering and solitude. The 9 days and nights represent a shamanic journey, a deliberate descent into the underworld of consciousness, where the deepest truths can only be found by those willing to risk everything. This theme resonates across cultures and centuries. From Buddha's enlightenment under the Bodhi tree to Jesus's 40 days in the wilderness, wisdom traditions worldwide recognize that true understanding requires us to leave our comfort zones behind. But Odin's story goes deeper than just personal transformation. His sacrifices were fundamentally altruistic. He endured suffering not just for his own enlightenment, but to protect his people and preserve their world for as long as possible. This is perhaps the most profound aspect of his wisdom: the recognition that knowledge carries responsibility. The runes Odin discovered weren't just magical symbols. They represented the fundamental structure of language and meaning itself. In mastering them, he gained the power of creation and destruction through words. This power came with the burden of knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Today, in our age of information overload, Odin's story offers a different perspective on knowledge. While we often prize quantity and speed of learning, he reminds us that wisdom requires depth and sacrifice. True understanding isn't something we can download or Google. It must be earned through experience, reflection, and often loss. Odin's willingness to sacrifice his physical eye teaches us about priorities. In a world obsessed with appearances and surface-level impressions, he chose insight over sight, understanding over observation. His hanging from Yggdrasil demonstrates the value of solitude and contemplation in an age where we're constantly connected and distracted. Perhaps most importantly, Odin's story reminds us that wisdom isn't a destination. It's an ongoing journey that demands everything we have. Even after gaining the runes and drinking from Mimir's well, Odin continued to seek knowledge, traveling the 9 realms in disguise, learning from mortals and immortals alike. His story suggests that true wisdom makes us humble, not arrogant. It reveals how much we still don't know. In the end, despite all his sacrifices and accumulated knowledge, Odin couldn't prevent Ragnarok from coming. But his wisdom allowed him to face the end with dignity and purpose, ensuring that something would survive to begin again. This is perhaps the ultimate lesson of Odin's sacrifices. Wisdom isn't about avoiding loss or pain, it's about finding meaning and purpose within them. The next time you face a difficult choice between comfort and growth, remember the All-Father hanging in the wind, trading everything he was for everything he could become.